Radical.
Viewer discretion is advised.
It's a very special collectible. Very special collectible. I've seen this in defense of Nintendo for Super Mario 3D All-Stars. People have no problem with what Nintendo is doing because it is a collectible, a very special collectible. And hey, you know what? You got half a year. You got half a year. Motherfuckers, you got half a year. If that's not enough time to pick something up, then you don't deserve it anyway. Well, you see, that's the problem, is picking one up. If you are Nintendo, and you actually want something you create to be in the hands of people, if you want people that own a Switch to play your game, if you're gonna be limiting it to only half a year, maybe, just maybe, you should produce a shit ton of copies of that item. I had a response to one person defending Nintendo saying, oh, poor Nintendo, such a tiny company. They just don't have the resources to print plastic disc. Limited release, limited scarcity. Basically, they're going down the path of limited run games. But it's not limited run games. It's fucking Nintendo, okay? This is one of the reasons I don't support Nintendo. I don't have a Switch. I really don't support Nintendo, all right? I have an Xbox, and a lot of people don't like Microsoft and Xbox, but here's the thing. Compared to Nintendo, Microsoft, with things like Game Pass, you know, they are being truly pro-consumer. And, you know, I like physical releases more than anything else. But, I mean, with Game Pass, I mean, shit. You know, I will never have a day where I don't have something to play, right? That's a pro-consumer move. Now, it happens to be, when you have these companies like Nintendo, they feel like they can never do anything wrong. They feel like, you know, they can slap your asses around and you will support them thick and thin. They got Mario, they got Zelda, so fuck you, fuck the consumer. That's what Mario is basically saying. That's what Nintendo is saying. They should actually have Mario come out. Fuck you all. That's what they're saying to you with this release. There is no way, they don't have the resources to print as many of these discs possible, even including the scalpers. Even including all the fucking scalpers that are going to make hundreds and hundreds of dollars off of this release. Okay? They have the resources to print as many of these as humanly possible because they are Nintendo. You can't tell me that they can't produce more plastic, okay? That's just a fucking lie right there, especially if they're admitting that they only are going to have it available for 6 months. Now, what they want you to do, what they prefer you to do, is pay $60 for the digital copy of these three lazy upscales. Hades Izanami told me that these are lazy 720p upscales, all right? A little shinier versions of these old games, okay? Collectible item. When I think about a collectible item, some people are saying, hey, you know what? It's a collectible item. And like I said, what the fuck is a collectible item that you can't even collect day one? It's already sold out, no pre-orders and all that. But when I think about a collectible item, I think a rare Mario statue, or something that actually has limited run, something that actually took time to really put into. You know, collectible items, I mean, a plastic disc? You know, plastic disc? I mean, really? Seriously? It's like, it's artificial collectibles is what I'm saying. Well, not artificial collectibles, but artificial scarcity. That's the road Nintendo is going down. And it's a very scummy road indeed. And you think about the value. Let's talk about the value. $60. Some of these Nintendo shill YouTube channels are saying, you know what? We don't approve of what Nintendo is doing, but we gotta admit, this is an amazing value for three of the greatest games of all time. Super Mario Sunshine, really? One of the greatest games of all time? The Galaxy. Super Mario 64, for the time, revolutionary, in the mid-90s. So, yeah, maybe 2 out of 3 of the best games of all time? But still, I mean, these are, except for Galaxy, these are old-ass games. These are old-ass games. For fuck's sake, Mario 64, Super Mario 64, it was released, let's see here, when was this game released? June 23rd, 1996. June 23rd, 1996. That is almost a quarter century ago. Almost a fucking quarter century ago. And you're going to do lazy upscale this and call it a collectible. And that's supposed to be rare, right? So Nintendo, they're anti-consumer, they're anti-value. They actually fucking expect people to pay $60. And one of those games being Super Mario 64. And you know what? You know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know anybody, I mean, maybe there's a couple people that don't know that you can have any computer, a fucking Pentium 4 for fuck's sake, from the late 90s or whatever, any computer will play Super Mario 64, or Project 64 for instance. You can play that game digitally on your computer for $0. That's right, $0. Because you know what, here's the thing, and people say, you know, emulators, that's evil. Fuck you, Rick, for even bringing up emulators, all right? What's more evil? Me playing Super Mario 64 on an emulator because I can't, you know, if I had a Switch and I wanted to get this collection, I wouldn't be able to because Nintendo, again, will not make enough of this to actually sell. So would I be the evil one for playing old-ass 90s games on an emulator, or who's the truly evil one right now? Nintendo, in more than halfway through 2020, still trying to charge people a dollar for old-ass fucking games. Many people pointed to the Disney Vault. If you remember, there was a time when Disney actually would lock certain movies to a certain time frame. Okay, no, it actually happened. Hey, you know what? Cinderella, this is a movie that's only available for a limited time. Make sure to get it now. And then there was a limited window you could actually pick it up, and then they put it back in the vault. That's exactly what Nintendo was doing. They're like, fuck you, you got half a year to buy this, or else we're putting it right back in the vault. You know? Or you know, it could be another thing. Could be that, well, there's two things possibly. One thing is, this period ends on March the 31st, 2021. What happens? What day is right after March the 31st? April Fool's, motherfuckers. So Nintendo might come out, you know, really happy going, haha, April Fool's, everybody. You can actually buy the game. That's one possibility. But that's shady too if that's the case, because they're trying to make people buy this with a certain time period. And I think someone mentioned that the fiscal financial year ends in March. Well, isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? So there's a lot of things going on here, and none of them, absolutely none of them, are pro-consumer. You would think a company like Nintendo, who is beloved by so many people, would not be as shady as fuck. And like I said, charge you, you know, top dollar for old-ass games, limit your time to buy a game, and then possibly, here's another thing they might do. There's a lot of bullshit here. Here's another thing they might do. They might actually cut these games up, piecemeal them, and then sell them for $20 or more on Nintendo Switch Online. Okay? Mario, he's a going to nickel and a dime ya.